All right. Let me just double check. I think we're live. And yeah, it sure looks like it. Okay, and I like that faded light. Little dim today, light-wise. All right, and if I'm not much mistaken, check yo. Yes, I actually have a microphone. I might do some rambling. We'll see. Hello, everybody, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. And welcome to a Midday in the Middle Jam. This is Art4Truth. We are Art4Truth. Whoa, what the heck? Gonna do a little jam for you. So with these Midday in the Middle jams, I've been sort of revisiting some old themes that I was doing on the COVID concert series, live series I was doing on Facebook for a while. Did that for months, 6 days a week, and each day had a different theme. Thursdays were Thoughtful Thursday. And while I didn't expect to do that today, I did get my microphone fixed, which was simply a matter of examining what was unplugged and plugging it in. Absolutely amazing, the complexities of technology. You actually have to plug things in for them to work. So, sometimes. So I'm going to share a few thoughts, keep with a somewhat thoughtful Thursday theme, and also jam some. Well, one of the things that's preeminently on my mind is the mind. I have been doing a voluntary, kind of austere detox / lifestyle change. Where I have cut a number of different inebriants, if you will, or various forms of not being in the present in a way out of my life. Well, I shouldn't say that about everything, but things that weren't necessarily helping me to be more focused in the moment. Some of them are very, very good friends that I've had a relationship with for many years and will continue to in some capacity, I believe. But yes, taking a break from smoking, from drinking coffee, any caffeine at all, sugar, various forms of entertainment on my phone that can get very distracting. And adding in some more regular exercise, some kind of qigong-ish type of activities and meditation. A little bit more routine in going for walks and things like that. And I tell you what, it's been about 2 weeks, over 2 weeks. And about a week or so for the exercise and stuff, and meditation, almost a week. And I tell you what, it has been pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic to open up a whole kind of new world of possibilities. And what's interesting about this too is that it's actually, in some ways, the meditation in particular is connecting me more with some of the things that I used to like to do substances in the first place, for which to find them. And again, I am not advocating austerity, abstinence, or sobriety for everybody. I am actually a big fan and component of using various herbs and fungi and different things of the earth to help us through life, to understand more about the universe and so on and so forth. I'm a strong advocate for abolishing prohibition laws and a much, much greater interest, scientific and otherwise, in the study and research into the various things that can help us to traverse dimensions and understand a greater aspect of our vast infinite universe. But one of the things that has come to mind, or has been highlighted by this for me, and something that I'm actually very excited about, is the real power of meditation to connect us to those things. I didn't really believe it per se, like I did and I didn't. I've had phases, I guess, of trying to do the sitting meditations, and they usually go cold after a while. I don't receive out of them. I never really connected to it. Now, I'm excited about meditating for a half hour or so in the mornings. I might even do it some more, maybe later in the day, time provided. You can only do so much when you have things to do, but I have finally realized the connection to meditation, being focused in that focus and the psychedelic experience. And I'm talking about some of the deep, hard psychedelic experiences that you can find with such things like dimethyltryptamine, for example. See, oh gosh, we need to be able to speak and dialogue freely about these things, because they could be the savior of our planet, honestly, and us, at least as we're involved with it. You hear about the entities, DMT entities and such. Well, those truly exist without that. They exist for real. And in my meditations, after a while, through the sitting, I get to a point where I am having similar experiences, very similar experiences, to some capacity, that I have had while exploring some of the various realms and opportunities through the chemical means. And I say this, it is a phenomenal feeling. I get excited about meditation. The entities are real. The voices, the language, the light, the different dimensions of and levels of light and space. And to be honest, if I hadn't done those things, substances, if you will, I probably would not have been able to connect so deeply with the possibilities of what life can be like without them. tragedy, that absolute tragedy, calamity, catastrophe, that these experiences, this connection to reality, is not a larger part of our greater conversation of life in art and science and politics and sociology and spirituality. But what is acceptable by our systems are poisonous white chemicals made in factories that basically rape the natural qualities of plants and herbs and fungi, and completely manipulate and bastardize them into some mass-producible control substance. You know why they call them controlled substances? Because they use them to control you. Systems advocate for the use of synthetic chemicalized opioids and all these different things. Make no mistake about it. They talk about trying to fight an opioid crisis. The only crisis is that they lose money if people die, I guess, but they gain it if more people take it. But no, it's an invented thing. They're not fighting it. They still put them out. They still support. They'll make marijuana is still, if I'm not much mistaken, federally speaking, a Class A substance, which I think by definition means it has no medical value. It's only dangerous. It's highly addictive. It kills people. Like, it's about the biggest lie as you could imagine. But the white chemical drugs that they pump you with, that they insist that you have, are okay. We're making steps, certain states and individuals and this and that, we're making steps in other places in the world to liberate nature, to liberate consciousness, but we need to make more steps. Imagine what psychedelics could do for the Black Lives Matter movement. Imagine what substances can do to bring us all together and help us to realize our connectedness as people, our oneness, while also highlighting the beauty of our distinctions and differences as ways that we can better come together rather than be divided by them. I recently heard Graham Hancock, who is I honestly really don't know. He's a intellectual and author, I think an archaeologist. Very intelligent person with a lot to add to the questions of our existence. Who said something like to the effect of, if we have to have governments, then people who are going to be leaders in that government should be required to do, he said, I think 12 different shaman-guided ayahuasca adventures. And I 100% think that's a great idea. Imagine if the police all had to do, like, part of their training was a series of either ayahuasca or psilocybin experiences. that instead of these training academies with all these guns and these military type ideas, it's shaman who are the true custodians of certain knowledge to help teach these people to be custodians of people. But if we continue to grow and learn and rise above the need for the systems of greed to control us and watch us bleed, well, we will grow and we will have less of a need and less of a demand for people to have positions of power over other people. 100% believe this. I say this now as a relatively straight edge type of a person, and I still 100% advocate. I don't know if I should say straight edge, but like I said, I'm going through a new phase in my life where I'm trying to access the powers that be through my own potential, my own mental capacity, my own connection to spirituality. And I've learned so much. I'm so grateful for the things that I've been able to experience that have helped me to grow and be a better, more loving, caring, compassionate human being. And if we continue to explore, happy noon everybody, by the way, we have passed the midday point. If we continue to explore artificial, quote-unquote artificial intelligence through the use of technology and information systems, and we don't somehow find a way to incorporate the quote-unquote psychedelic experience into the consciousness of our newfound intelligent beings, it could be beyond calamitous for all of life as we know it. But if we incorporate that experience in art, oh my goodness, we need it. Art is so paramountly important to the evolving of us. We need to incorporate art and that experience into the development of AI. Or else I truly believe that it will go awry. We'll have a Matrix-like situation, if we don't already, and we will lose out on an incredible chance to partake in the next step of the evolution of life and consciousness. Things aren't for everybody. Not everybody should smoke pot. I mean, for example, as far as one of those things that can connect us things, doesn't work for everybody. It's not supposed to, but it works for some people. In fact, it works. It's the only thing that might work for some people. We need to be in charge of our own consciousness. It is absolutely fucking fucked up to have any individual, group, entity, or dogma affect your individual consciousness. You need to have the right to choose how you connect to the reality of our existence. No government, no religion, no mandate can dictate that. And as they try, the more they will destroy consciousness. They talk about things like, even like I try not to follow too much of the specifics of politics because it's a trap and it's really a waste of time. certainly for me, I won't say that universally, but it would appear that even in the upcoming presidential election in this particular country, neither candidate, including the quote-unquote more liberal one, believes in the decriminalization or legalization of marijuana. I think I've heard Biden or something like that, or attributed to him, talking about it as a gateway drug. Okay, so video games where you join an army or you join a street gang and you murder people and steal cars is not a gateway drug to violent behavior. That's okay. But doing something that helps you lead to an opening of consciousness and a connection to other people so that you have a gateway to understanding, happiness, and compassion, that's not okay. It makes no fucking sense. It just doesn't make any sense, except under the sense of control. Slavery hasn't gone away. They've just changed the game. Changed the name. Creating all of these systems that require you to lose yourself, lose your soul, disconnect from nature, disconnect from reality, disconnect from other people and the connection we have to the world, to nature, to us. So that you can just spend your days worried about money, worried about products, and thinking that everybody is out to get you. That's how they train you. That's the slavery that they are instilling upon us now. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. We are all still shackled by the systems that control us. Just checking the time because I did doing a half-hour version today. I suppose if I do go over, it won't cut me off like it does at the hour mark, so not a big deal. There's dogmas everywhere. There's dogmas in religion, there's dogmas in science, there's dogmas in art. One of the prevalent art dogmas, and dogma, controlling behavior, institutional slavery, is not limited to one side of the political spectrum. It's not red or blue or left or right or any of that kind of nonsense. No, it works on all spectrums. The more you lean to the left, the more you become Mao or Stalin. The more you lean to the right, the more you become Adolf Hitler or Mussolini. So, and how different are they, really? Not that different. This was something that my high school history teacher taught. Very strongly stuck with me. There's dogmas on all sides, and one of the prevalent dogmas in art is that it's entirely subjective, and it is merely a form of expression for people, and that is so dangerous, so dangerously wrong, because it disconnects us from the true capacity, power, and meaning of art. It makes it trivial. It implies that it does not have any powerful objective connection or relation to our systems or to the way that we live. Imagine telling Einstein, Isaac Newton, or Stephen Hawking that their scientific opinions were subjective and that they were just as valid, just as real, just as had the exact same power, gravity, and meaning as somebody who was mixing a couple of, who got a chemistry set and was mixing some things together to create green fire. We do not have to invalidate the subjective of art. We do not need to invalidate the power and the importance of a kid or an adult, whoever, mixing chemicals from a chemistry set to learn stuff and to get green fire. In fact, we mustn't invalidate that, but we must not simultaneously invalidate the power of truth, the power of understanding, the power of digging deep into something to figure out meaning. Einstein, Newton, Stephen Hawking, they all figured things out, and all of them discovered some things that are pretty solidly objective, yet they also change. We can learn like, oh, maybe they missed this and that, and that's one of the powers with art. Can you imagine if we had a peak of art and nothing ever changed from it? Like the Renaissance, as is definitely a peak in the graph of our history with art. But what if all our art looked just like it did in the Renaissance? It wouldn't reflect us. It wouldn't reflect growth. It wouldn't reflect change, understanding of the earth, our connection to all these other things. It would have stagnated and become dogmatic. So we really need to work to find ways that we can incorporate the subjective and the objective, the power of art, the gravity of it, as something just beyond just our taste or our own opinions or appreciation. It has a deeper, 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 deeper power. And we can't invalidate the subjective or the personal either. I had a mentor who did that. He was way on the other side of the spectrum. And it was also a dangerous, harmful dogma. But the truth is that part of him was absolutely right. There is more to art than just opinion or taste. There has to be, or else it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't connect us. It doesn't mean anything beyond what it might mean to an individual. And there's so much more than that. And again, we can't invalidate either approach. Art is everything, and it is also something that is really a really specific energy. It's really something that, it's an encompassing energy, but it's an energy. It's a real thing. It's not something humans invented or created. It's something we tap into. It's a power of the universe. So let us all learn how to be much more open and how to try to live without dogmas. And perhaps I have my own. I don't know. Perhaps the things I'm saying now might be some kind of a dogma. But I don't believe that that would be the best word to describe this, because I am certainly open to growth and change. I don't believe that there's a steadfast rule that things have to be a certain way. But I do believe that other than the rule that when you try to make things a certain way, things are not going to work. Control doesn't work in nature. That's a belief. All evidence points to that. So whatever your path is, whatever your journey through life, remember that there's billions of others here, now, in the past, and in the future who are also experiencing their journeys through life. And there are ways that we can somehow all work to connect in that. Without control over others, without control over nature, without force, without violence. We shouldn't say without force, because that would, there is a force, there is nature, there is, sometimes you have to push something in order to get it to move. But if you smash that thing to bits because it won't move, then it never will have the chance again. And that's violence. So we need to move beyond that. Beyond the need for laws, beyond the need for governments, beyond the need for control. And it can be done, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, it quite possibly has been in past civilizations that have been buried by time. So with all that said, thank you very much for letting me express myself. If you don't agree with me, you think I'm wrong, that's totally good. Well, it's totally okay. It's fine. It's good. We need dialogue. We need differences. I don't expect everybody to just agree, but I certainly appreciate living in an existence where we have a forum to discuss and share without violently hurting each other or trying to control each other's thoughts. Let us continue to work in that direction and dimension. Keep making art. Find it in your heart. Keep connecting to the power of what it can be and not just what you see. And thank you all very much for your ear and your time.